What's up, everyone? This is Gail Dudley with your News in Motion. How are you today? It's our Friday. It's Anything Goes Friday, and I know many of us are exhausted from the week. So I want to give a quick recap of everything that happened on yesterday. Many of you were saying that you were exhausted as well. What's up, Kim Carter? Good morning. So it's just that it's morning time. What's up, Gwen Wright? How are you? So yes, our Friday, anything goes. I don't even have my mimosa, y'all. I just have water in this cup. What's up, Kim Hill? What's up, Antoinette? Y'all up early too. Aren't y'all exhausted? I am exhausted. Let me just say I am exhausted. So let's get started with this quick rundown, the recap. And y'all know we have to do this again next week, right? Y'all know we have to do this again. No, you cannot say, I got what I received, so I'm done. No, we all have to do it again next week. Why? Because we want to know what's happening on the other side. Or you may be on the other side, and I want to make sure that I'm reporting for you as well. So that means we're going to have to rest up this weekend, shall I say. All right, y'all. Democratic National Convention night number 4. You said you're sending Joe your coffee bill. Hey, all you got to do is give him his your cell phone. It seems like he'll call you. The theme last night was centered around faith and military families. The theme last night was centered around Joe Biden, his family, the kind of man that he is. And I don't know about you all, but I did not know all of that. I honestly did not know everything he was doing, even before he went into office, even the thought that he was going to resign. What's up, Teresa? So he's done a lot. He's done a lot for this country. I want us to take a moment, because if you remember, the first person, one of the first people who came on was the governor from California, and he was talking about they're already fighting fires. So let's just take a moment and just pause and just ask God to be with them, those who are losing their homes, their property, their vineyards. Just take a moment. Let's just pause and just pray for those in California. Throughout the weekend, if you would remember them, if you would remember those with the California fires and everything that they're fighting, just that they will have safety as well. And thank you for joining me in that time of pause. What's up, Brenda? So, y'all, these words popped out at me last night, and if you were following me on Facebook or on my Twitter or on Instagram, I put them up there. This time next year. Those 4 words, those 4 powerful words, this time next year. Some of the words that came out was real leadership, not just tweets. People who care. Just the economy that's shifting. Jobs, healthcare for everyone. Just so much this time next year. When those words were spoken last evening, I was like, yes, this time next year, please hurry up and come. So let me ask you, and I do want you to respond. I may not catch them all, but I do want you to respond in the comment section, even for people who will watch this later. Let me ask you, what do you want this time next year? When you're thinking about the country, what do you want this time next year? For me, I want to not be so stressed about what the person in the White House is going to do or say or divide. I don't want to worry about going somewhere and having people so aggressive and so mean towards me, an African-American female, because of what has been said or divided from the person in the White House. That's me. So if you don't mind, if you would just type in there so that people can see, that I can see later as well, what do you want this time next year? What do you want this time next year? What's up, Pat Lows? So, y'all, we had Andrew, as you're typing it in there, the pandemic under control. Yep, you're right. I want to know we have real leadership leaders. Yep, that's a good one too. And again, if I don't catch all of them, forgive me, but we know we're there. United. Yep, united, unity. Yeah, y'all, that's where we are. And I love that people were answering that question. Real people who were not necessarily leaders as in what we believe, as what we think, or the stereotype of leader, but everybody. I hope and pray that we have more peace, less violence, unity. Yep, that's right. That's right. So yeah, those words just stuck out at me yesterday. This time next year, not to see weekly executions. I want this country to stop all the hate. Yep. So keep putting those in there. I want freedom. Yep. So Andrew Yang, I'm gonna keep going, but I want y'all to keep filling that up with what you see next year. Andrew Yang said, we are in a deep, dark hole and we need leaders to help pull us out. What's up, Tracy? Y'all, the moderator, Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Man, she was amazing all night long. I think with her, she came out swinging and she said, vote 30330. Y'all know that's the number they've been saying all week to text vote. Vote, and then you send the text to 30330. And then she said, and make the best plan. And then she goes, you can't forget this number. She said, because that's the year, and I'm only using his name for the quote, that's the year that Donald Trump will release his taxes. I mean, I was literally laughing. Actually, she kept me awake. And I think they were strategic all week long. First of all, I love the fact that it was all females as moderators. All females as moderators. You had Eva Longoria. You had, and I hope I don't miss anybody, you had Kerry Washington last night. Who was in the middle? Y'all got to help me out. Tracy Ellis Ross was Tuesday. Kerry Washington was Wednesday. And then you had Julia Louis-Dreyfus last night. I believe they did that. Oh, but they set that up on purpose. They had to put Julia last to keep us all awake. Y'all remember my analogy of church and of revival. You know, the first night of revival, you're like coming in because you need something to keep going. The second night of revival, it becomes very deep and you're just like, wow, I'm going to just sit here and take it in. It was a reflection time. Wednesday, you had a little bit more pick you up. And then Thursday was like, we're going to land this plane. We're going to get everybody on the same page. We're going to put a plan out there. We're going to tell our story. But we needed Julia to keep us laughing. I laughed all night long. So she did that thing. Y'all, then the chicks, the powerful opening. Oh my gosh. That music was... It just picked me up. Their voices, everything together was absolutely amazing. So they came out. Then you had Sister Simone Campbell. Y'all know that's Nuns on the Bus. And which also said that she gave the opening prayer, but that also solidified who Joe Biden is as a man of faith. Although they were trying, the other side of the aisle is trying to paint him as a man of not of faith, but they painted him as a man of faith last night. It was absolutely amazing. So you had the Sister Simone Campbell. You had Senator Chris Coons, who talked about, for Joe, faith is not a prop. It's not something that he's using. He goes and say Joe is a man of faith. He is a practicing Catholic. They wanted to say that on purpose. And let's tie that in with Sister Simone Campbell. That was done on purpose. Then they came out with Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms, which I think the whole world, any female wanted that necklace. So whoever made that necklace for her, they need to go ahead and put it up on somebody's website so we can all buy it. That was the bomb necklace, y'all. Y'all know that. Y'all know y'all want it. And trust me, I was Googling, looking for it, putting in, what is Mayor Lance Bottoms wearing the necklace? Who did that? Who designed that? That necklace was off the chain. But she gave the call of voting early, and she really was speaking from the place of civil rights icon who just recently passed. We lost him, John Lewis. She said, we must pass on the gift John Lewis gave to us. We must register and we must vote. She goes, let's organize to get others to vote with us. We cannot wait for some other time, some other place, or some other heroes. We must be the heroes. This was Mayor Bottom's call. We must be the heroes. Our votes can be our voice. And she gave that. And last night, and those of you, if you follow me on Facebook, I'm always putting different things up there. Yesterday, around 4:30, I put up a link to join Meghan Merkel, Valerie Jarrett, and others on this live. And I put the link on there. With the media pass, I put my link up there. Although you could get in other ways, but I put my media link up there. And only one person came to the table. I know it was late notice, but y'all listen, check that out. That is Michelle Obama's site, whenweallvote.org, where you can find all kinds of information. But from 6 p.m. until 9 p.m., all of us who had joined that movement for those 3 hours, we were reaching out to people, registering them to vote. Y'all, they had over 300,000 women register to vote within 3 hours yesterday from 6 to 9, which says it can be done. We just have to stay the course and we have to be diligent, but it can be done. If you want to join, they're still looking for people to come alongside them. Ready Publication, y'all know that's the magazine my daughter runs, is the president, she and her team. We joined them, we're partners with them. We were on the line. I was out there yesterday from 6 to 9 getting people registered to vote. You can go to that website. If somebody will put that in, and make sure you put in the www.whenweallvote.org. Whenweallvote.org. You can check that out. There's all kinds of resources and information there. Also, the other thing that came behind Mayor Bottoms was the video of the late Congressman John Robert Lewis. That was a powerful video. I knew he was arrested many times, but I did not know the number was 40, nor did I know he was arrested another 5 times while in office. Wow. That means this man was like, whatever it takes, I'm going to get us to be people who are recognized. Y'all, there's so much history that I don't think many of us know. And maybe you knew that about the 40 plus 5. I did not know that. And then John Legend and Common. Come on, everybody. We just lost it right there. Then we had the presidential historian. Yep, that's right, Kim Hill. Good trouble, necessary trouble. Let's get into some necessary trouble, some good trouble. The presidential historian, John Meacham, he asked this question, and it was a serious question. He said, do we continue to be prisoners or will we free ourselves? Wow. Do we continue to be prisoners or will we free ourselves? That reminds me of the scripture in Isaiah, and I can't remember the right chapter, but I'll post it later, where it talks about remove the chains from your neck. And so often, in the first part of that verse, I want to say it's Isaiah 61, starting with 1 through 3, and I could be wrong. But it's starting there, it talks about arise, dust yourself off. Sit enthroned. It's like rise up. And then it says there's a part of that scripture that says remove the chains from your neck. And I think so many of us are in chains, and it's time for us to remove. And the Bible specifically says remove the chains from your neck. It's not saying let somebody else remove them. It says remove the chains from your neck. I see that Anita Dawson's on there. Anita, can you look at that? I think it's Isaiah 61 maybe. And if it's not 61, it's Isaiah 57, but I think it's 61. Can you confirm that for me, please? But it talks about remove the chains from your neck. Y'all, so many of us are in bondage because we choose to be. Yep, I'm going there today. We choose to be. We're talking about we want to be free. We're talking about we want to see a change. But so many people, even the people who were protesting after the George Floyd murder, they're not registered to vote. And they believe their voice doesn't matter. Then why did you go protest if you didn't believe your voice doesn't matter? So y'all, we have to have that conversation with people, letting them know that everyone needs to vote. We need to vote. And here's the thing. Yes, I do care who you vote for, but I can't tell you who to vote for. But every last single one of us must vote. I believe in Columbus, Ohio. All of you who know I reside in Ohio. Although there's people that's watching us through all 50 states, even people outside the country are writing in, even asking me, what's going on? What's going on with the mailboxes? People, my friends in other countries. But Cassandra Tarver is leading up an effort. I believe it's called Blackout to Vote. I believe that's the name of it. It's going to be on October 6th because that's one thing they kept driving home, to vote early. We're not going to play around with the post office. We're not going to play around with them. So we have to have a plan. That's why from Michelle Obama to the 44th president, Barack Obama, to even last night, over and over and over and over again, they talked about having a plan, y'all. We have to have a plan. Y'all know I'm no longer giving the date. That's for the last day to register. We have to have a plan. You can go to iwillvote.com. You can go to vote.gov. You can go to rockthevote.org. You can go whenweallvote.org. You can also go to readypublication.com and click the Ready to Vote campaign icon. So if you're on here, put those links in there. Make sure you're always putting the www dot in front of it. So iwillvote.com, vote.gov, whenweallvote.org, rockthevote.org, and readypublication.com. So he asked that question, and then he says, with our voices and our vote, let's write the next chapter, one of hope, love, and justice. If we do so, we might just save our country and our souls. And that again came from the presidential historian John Meacham. So again, his question is, do we continue to be prisoners or will we be free? He goes on to say, with our voices and our vote, let's write the next chapter, one of hope, love, and justice. If we do so, we might just save our country and our souls. That was powerful. And then, y'all, we had Sarah Cooper. She has been TikToking the occupant of the Oval, and she has him down to a T. She just really, she's just great. I just love her. And then she made the case that, okay, I've been doing this through jokes, but now she says I'm coming out to be serious. And she just gave her plea as well. If you do not follow Sarah Cooper on any of the social media, I'm asking you to do so. Then the state officials came out to make it very clear that there's no difference between vote by mail and absentee voting. They said there's no difference. And these are state officials saying there's no difference. So y'all know what it is that we're talking about. And speaking of vote, again, our sponsor this week is Resistance by Design. I'm not for sure if you have your mask yet, but their proceeds go to women causes, and right now they're doing it for women who are running for office. They also have a cause for human trafficking, victims of human trafficking. So this is mine. It says vote. I love this mask. So you can go to resistancebydesign.com and purchase. They have masks, they have t-shirts, they have totes, they have everything. But they have been our sponsors this week for News in Motion. All right, y'all. Senator Cory Booker, he said, together we work, together we rise. He talked about 4.5 million people have lost their health care in the middle of a pandemic. Then Joe Biden had a panel with General Motors employee Gerald Lang, a firefighter Robert Lopez, a bus driver Natasha Taylor, and Bob Barr, who's a wireman. Then you also heard from, what does your shirt say? My shirt says Black Is. Yeah, this is from Kicks by Nikki Burton. She's on here. So Kim Carter, if you could put her name in there. Yep, Nikki does some great things. What are we? The Surgeon General, former Surgeon General said, "What are we missing is a leader." Then Tammy Baldwin talked about going forward. And then their thing was we the people. We the people know this election is bigger than politics. Veterans and military families have lost their jobs, y'all. They have lack of health care and employment. And I was on tweeting with some of my sister girls, and I was like, I never knew that they didn't have health care afterwards. After they came home, I had no idea that military families lost their health care. Who does that? Why is that even possible? Can't even connect the dots there, y'all. This is why we vote, and this is why we hold our elected officials accountable, not just the highest office. And we'll get back to that in a couple weeks. We're going to talk about the connection. Y'all, it's just not the presidential race. It is every race. It's your local race. It's your state race as well. You have to really do your research on the candidates. We have to. Senator Tammy Duckworth called him the coward in chief. He said he doesn't deserve to call himself commander in chief another 4 minutes. I thought that was very powerful. Pete Buttigieg, he says, can we be a country that knows the truth that Black Lives Matter? That was Pete Buttigieg. And then it was interesting. I love the fact that there were 7 people who were running for this spot, came together to have just a dialogue and talk about their relationship and how they are supporting Joe Biden. And Cory Booker called it Survivor. He said he was voted off the island. And he said all these people on this screen were voted off the island. And I love that they could come together to support him. Now, with Senator Cory Booker, Senator Elizabeth Warren, Senator Bernie Sanders, Senator Amy Klobuchar, Andrew Yang, Beto O'Rourke, and Pete Buttigieg. That's who was on there. Then Michael Bloomberg. He said he's been a Democrat, a Republican, and an independent. That was powerful right there. He said he's been all 3. He says vote against him because he's done a bad job. Then he asked this question, y'all. He asked this question. He said, would you rehire or work for someone who has ran their business into the ground or ran your business into the ground? He said, and they're spending more time tweeting than working. He said, if your answer is no, and I'm going to quote him, he said, why the hell would we ever hire him for another 4 years? Yeah, that's a great question. It's a great question. And then he said, let's put an end to this sorry chapter. He said, let's end this chapter right now. I looked up the unemployment numbers on Politico. So get this, y'all. Unemployment claims jumped back over 1 million. Unemployment claims jumped back over 1 million. Yeah. The coronavirus numbers in the USA, y'all know I go directly to the World Health Organization. There are 5,746,272 cases. There is 177,424 deaths. There are recovered 3,095,484 that have recovered. Now, I will also say, all the graphs are showing that in the U.S., the numbers are starting to slow. That doesn't mean we stop wearing our masks, we stop social distancing, we stop washing our hands. That means we should continue to do that because the numbers are starting to slow just slightly. But y'all, that's a praise report, so I wanted to talk about that. All right, then we got the man of the hour who accepted the nomination to become the next president of the United States. He said, too much darkness, anger, fear, division of the current occupant. He said, it's time for us. He said, we the people to come together. If y'all notice, that was the theme the entire time. We the people. We the people. This is about collecting. We the people. He says, we will overcome the season of darkness. Y'all, we have been in a season of darkness. Some people think we've been in a season of greatness, but there's so many of us who understand oppression, suppression, and depression that we are saying we've been in a season of darkness. He said, we will have fact over fiction. He said, it's a great honor to accept the nomination for President of the United States of America. He said, this moment calls for hope. And he asked this question several times, are we ready? Are we ready? He said, I believe we are. He goes, we must be. Then he says 10 million people will lose their health care by the end of the year. Y'all, listen to that number. So there's an urgency. 10 million people will lose their health care by the end of the year. He said 1 in 6 will lose their small businesses. 1 in 6 will lose their small businesses. He said there are almost 50 million unemployed right now. Almost 50 million unemployed right now. He said, we can and will deal with climate change. You know, they state their case all week for climate change. He said, we will pay our essential workers. He said, it's by time that they get paid. We will pay. Good morning, Jackie Matthews. He said, we need to protect Social Security and Medicaid. Then he said, united. Are you ready? He said, we are good and decent people. We are the United States of America. This is a battle we will win and do it together. Y'all, think about it. They dealt with immigration. They dealt with education. They dealt with healthcare. They dealt with climate change. They dealt with jobs and economy. They dealt with family. They dealt with faith. Y'all, they dealt with gun control. They dealt with so much. Y'all, they wrote a storybook all week that was absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Just to let you know, there were other meetings. I've been sharing that all week. There were other meetings. Yesterday, meetings dealt with Poverty Council, LGBTQ Caucus, Small Business Council, and Native American Caucus. And in those meetings, they just discussed what are the needs, what do they see. They put a plan together. So y'all, I'm asking all of us that are on here, our friends and family that you're going to connect with. What's our plan? What's our plan to vote? Are you voting early? Make that decision. Make that plan. Are you taking the day off to work? Go ahead and schedule that day off today. Make sure that you have that day free. What are you doing? Are you becoming a poll worker? Y'all, poll workers are needed. You can go to eac.gov. If someone can put that link in there, that'll be great. www.eac, that's E as in election, A as in assistance, C as in commission.gov, eac.gov. Y'all know that the first places they will close down will be those areas that are marginalized, that are poor, that are in Black and brown communities, those without transportation. Y'all, we have to have a plan. We have to have a plan. Y'all, shout out again to Julia Louis-Dreyfus. She threw shade all night long. I think this was the best quote. I mean, all of them were great. I really can't pick the best. But she said, Joe Biden goes to church so regularly that he doesn't even need tear gas and a bunch of federalized troops to get there. That was a shout out to Julia Louis-Dreyfus for the win, y'all. For the win. Without a doubt, for the win. We have brave Brayden. I think I'm pronouncing his name correctly. He was a brave young man, teenager. And he talked about how Joe Biden helped him overcome his stutter. Y'all, he's for the win. That young man was so brave. He showed us how he wrote out his speech. He showed us what he was saying. He talked about it. There were times that he did stutter, but he stayed the course. He had his shoulders back. He stood strong. That was so powerful. When I was watching him, okay, y'all know I can get emotional. When I was watching him, I thought about all of us. How many of us, and even Joe shared the story, and by the way, Joe's mama wasn't playing. She went and told sister, whatever her name was at the Catholic school, I'm going to knock your cap off if you ever say those words again to my son. Mama wasn't playing. She wasn't playing at all. But I wanted to just say, yep, Tracy, I was in tears too. I was just like, oh my gosh. But y'all, I wanted to say this. And y'all know this is the inspirational message. I already talked about removing the chains from your neck earlier. That's in Isaiah. And if we don't have the scripture up there, I'll put it up there later. But y'all, it's time for us to take a stand. You know, when I was watching him, I said, how many of us have quit because someone said we couldn't do it, or someone laughed at us, or someone mocked us, or someone thought we were crazy, or someone thought whatever that is? How many of us have quit? I mean, I think about me doing this. You know, who would have thought? But this is just who I am. Sometimes we set out to do things that really didn't have our name on it, or we set out to do things. Thank you, Isaiah 52, 1 and 2. We set out to do, so I was way off, right? We set out to do things, and we stop because we start thinking about what people may be thinking about us. Y'all, it's time to get over that. It is so time to get over that. This young man, Brayden, this young man should give us the fuel we need to say, what is it that I want to do, and go out and do it. Whatever your dreams are, whatever you desire to do, go and do it. Go and do those things, y'all, because I believe the time is now. I believe the time is now. I would have never thought that I would be invited. And again, it was open to different people, but I had a backdoor way to getting in that I was like in a chat with the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, who was talking about voting, who's, you know, left the UK to come to America, and she's going to be a front runner with this whole voting piece. Who would have thought that? Who would have thought I would have people on Twitter then inboxing me saying, hey, I've seen your news. How can I become a sponsor? People that have no connection. Who would have thought that Ready Publication, again, is head up by my daughter, would be in the back office with When We All Vote, who that belongs to Michelle Obama. We're partners with them. Who would have thought those things? If I would have been, and I want to say this. When we started this magazine, going on 7 years come October. When we started this publication, it's more than a magazine, but when we started this publication, people laughed at us. People said that it would never work because people don't read magazines. People said that 2 black people, how are y'all doing that? You have no idea. I haven't even shared half the stories. But look, 7 years later, it's about planting seeds, y'all. Whatever seed you want to plant, begin planting those today. And I'm not done. I may be 55, but I'm not done. As long as God gives me breath, I still have dreams, I still have visions, and I still see where I want to go. So I applaud this young teenager who said, okay, Joe Biden took the time to help him talk about his own stutter. See, that's the other thing we have to do, people. We need to begin to share with other people our testimony, our past. Your testimony is not for you, it's for someone else. We need to stop hiding behind the fact that, I'm embarrassed, and say, this is what happened to me. This is what's happening to me, but this is how I overcame these areas. I can see this young man being a speaker, doing TED Talks, speaking from the podium of major platforms because he refuses to give up on himself. All right, y'all, I've gone too long. Woo, next week, y'all. Now remember, he renews my youth as the eagle. That's right. Stepping out on faith. That's right, Brenda. Y'all remember, yep, we exhausted, but we cannot sit out next week. Look, I'm not watching this by myself next week. So I'm going to need you all to join me. I'm going to still recap, but I'm going to need y'all to join me. So y'all get some rest, get some strength. This week I have Michelle says we must trust God and believe in ourselves as he chooses and entrusts us, lead us, and use us for his glory. That's right, Michelle Bowie. What's up? Good morning to you. Listen, we have work to do. I need to see your plans. Please email me your plans so that we can all start working together and not be an island. And I'm not asking for your plan for me to do it. I'm asking for your plan so I can share it with other people. The plan, send your plan. What's up? Good morning, sister. Y'all, Shelly's from New York. No, New Jersey. She's going to hurt me. New Jersey. She lives in New Jersey. That's my sister girlfriend. But listen, we need plans. So I'm not asking to see your plan for me. I'm asking to see your plan to see what else somebody else is doing so we can start connecting the dots. Y'all, the time is now. So this weekend, we got homework. We got to work our plan. What's your plan? Email me at GED. That's G as in Gail, E as in Elizabeth, D as in Dudley, GED at MIM Today. That's M as in Mary, I, M as in Mary, today.org. That stands for Ministry in Motion. Ministry in Motion. News in Motion comes up under Ministry in Motion. So please email me your plan so that we can start talking about it next week in the following week. Y'all, the first week of September, we need to hit the ground running. Start contacting your people before y'all know I've given y'all other homework. Start contacting your people. Use your social media. Y'all reach out to 3 people. Reach out to 3 people and ask them, are you registered to vote? We got to get going, y'all. We got to get moving. Y'all, I love y'all. Y'all have no idea. I love y'all. I love seeing the same names pop up. I love when you share the video. So please share the video. Just click share right now. Just share it. Just share it. Let people know, hey, check this news out. Do you have questions? Whatever that looks like. If you know people who are doing other news, let us know so that we can support them too. I am not an island. We are in this together. Good morning, Latrice Jones. Yes, please share this video. And y'all, I hate doing this. But I have to. And God has been convicting me over this as well. What's up, Harvey Halliburton? Y'all, that's the man right there. I need to check him out and what he's doing and how he's uncovering things and exposing things as well. And pray for his health as well. But y'all, if you want to give, whether you want to do that weekly, monthly, whatever that looks like, if you want to do a one-time gift, it doesn't matter the amount. It doesn't matter. But if you would just sow a seed to my Cash App, which is the $MIM Today. I would greatly appreciate it. It helps me continue to focus on this and not do other things so that I can do the research and bring you what you need so that we are empowered, that we know the truth. I have more than one source. I always have at least 7 before I give you the information, or I'm hearing it directly from that person's mouth and I'm putting the notes together. Let me know if I gave enough detail this week as a recap. Let me know if I could have done something differently, because I also want to learn from you, because you're the one that's viewing this. All right, y'all. Y'all know I'm late again to IGTV, so I got to sign off to go over to IGTV, but I will see you all on Monday, God willing, at 7:25 a.m. Until then, peace out. Love you. I'm out of here.